Hello everybody, welcome back to the Mermaid's Cave. I'm Leslie Levison and we are on a dazzling crazy quilt adventure together. What we're doing today is a beaded swag. So like this is a swag, like we think of curtain swags. Here's another one that's got three different loops going into one large bead. And then here I have ones with little seashells. These are little seashells, like you can buy those little necklaces that they sell, for parties or whatever. And you just take the necklace apart and use the shells because they're already drilled. Okay. Here's another example of a beaded swag. Whoops. And that looks really nice on the bottom of a piece. You can do a whole quilt that way. Here's another one with a bugle bead. Okay, let's get started. Now, I used to mark my fabric how I wanted to space the swags, but now I just made myself a little piece of muslin with the marks on it. It's a ½ inch and then an eighth, a ½ inch, then an eighth, ½ inch, then eighth. And you could also, if you don't have fabric laying around, you can also use twill tape and just have that marked off for whatever swag you want and just put it to your fabric, and then when you're done, you put it back. And you always have those, they're kind of like little templates for your quilt, for your beading. Okay, as always, I have my thread doubled so that it doesn't come off the needle in the middle of doing this. I've done one already. So now I'm going to go over to my 1/8 inch. I've got my ½ inch mark and then an 1/8 inch. So I'm going to go to my next ½ inch mark, if you will. And I'm just making a small swag for this. So I'm going to put on 2 pink beads and then a maroon bead and 2 pink beads. These are size 8 beads. And then I'm going to put on this little seashell that I have, a little seashell bead. What a surprise, huh? That goes through there, like so. Okay, now I'm going to put on another 5 beads. So 2 pink, a burgundy, and 2 pink. And then I'm going to go back down on my next mark. So that gives me a ½ inch. Now obviously you can make these sizes any size you want if you want really big swags or very little swags, but I find this is a nice proportion for beads. So one more time. I think I have another, yeah, I do. And I would make a knot after each swag on the back of the fabric, because people just love going, oh, how'd you do this? And they pull it all apart. No, I don't want you to pull it all apart. Okay. So now I'm going to make one more. Again, I'm going to put on my 5 beads and then my little shell. And then 5 more beads. It's raining like crazy here. How's it doing where you are? I know in Australia they're having cyclones, in Queensland. I follow Shelling Adventures with Maddie. So I have a weather update on what's going on in the Sunshine Coast of Australia, in case you're interested. So here we have, you've got 3 little swags, and you can use any kind of bead to decorate with. So for example, if I wanted to do something, let's say I want to make a much bigger swag, I could put on, say, 3 beads, and then I have these antique, they're kind of like celluloid of some kind. Oops. They're really funky. I think I originally got them from Tinsel Trading. That doesn't really work. Forget that. So let's go back to our... I'm going to add a little gold bead in this time. And you could use a... Whoops. You could use a dagger bead, which looks like that. And just put that on there. And then repeat on the other side the same thing. So I have 3 pink beads. I have a gold ring bead, maroon, gold, and then 3 pink beads. 3 pink beads. And when I say a little ring bead, they're called O beads. Right there. And they're just cool. They're like little tiny spacers. You could use with your beads. Now I'm going to go back down on my mark. And let's hope I don't get a tangle. And there we go. So I'm going to take this off so you can see what it looks like. So there we have some little dangles. Okay? You could also dangle a little bell from your swag. Let me show you some other examples. I showed you that. Right? This is an old example. This one's kind of cool. It's just a very shallow swag and then a bigger one with a star in the middle. And then I did the fairy charm where you come down with all your beads, you go through the little hole that's in that charm and then go back through all your beads. And that makes kind of a cool little swag. And then these are just kind of crisscrossed over themselves. Nice use with the bugle beads. Here is one, Purim's coming up. Purim is the Jewish holiday of the story of Esther. So here I've written Fröhliche Purim in alphabet beads. And that's a really big swag. And then I just have a little casing on the back, and it can hang up on my door for Purim. Here's another one. This is with the dagger beads. So you have that. And no, that's not a swag. So that's the dagger beads. And then last but not least, this is the Game of Thrones. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is the Ruby Warrior quilt. And the swag is actually on the top of the quilt and hangs down into the quilt. And you can see they're overlapping. in sections. So that's it for swag. Next time, I always say next week, but you never know. Next time I'm going to be doing different beaded fringes, and then we're going to go back to some stitching. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. You love it, you hate it, you're confused, you love it, I don't know. Leave a comment. I like to read things. And and we'll see you next time from the Mermaid's Cave. Bye-bye now.